Hello, friends. Hope everybody's doing great. Wanted to throw a video out there. I just caught that I made a mistake. I was looking at the discrete structures homework, and I was looking at the problems, and I had grabbed the wrong uh, questions out of the book for section 4.1. Those are the right problem numbers if you're in the eighth edition, but if you're in the seventh edition, it's a slightly different one. I grabbed the eighth edition numbers from the seventh edition questions, and that was wrong. And those questions are crazy, talking about stacking up congruences and stuff like that. No, the introduction that I want to do here, I just want to get your head started on these clockwork arithmetic and stuff like that. So I updated the Google Doc. The questions are 13, 14, and 15 in the 8th edition. So the first question is, what's the quotient remainder when 19 is divided by 7? Well, let's just work through that right quick. 7 times 3 is going to be 21. So it's got to be smaller than 3, but we can do 2. So 7 times 2 is 14. 19 minus 14 is going to be 5. And so that's going to be good. And let me see if I screwed up the back of the book right quick. So we'll go into the Discrete Structures Dropbox folder, and then we'll open up, let's see if we can go down here. Odd. And we're going to go down and see if we can get to chapter 4. Actually, I'm going to cheat just a little bit. I actually have there's going to be some a little bit of confusion on this, and so get down here. Oh, too far. So too far. There, we're getting close. Okay, so 4.1, that's going to be question 13. And so we come down here to 4.1, question 13. 2 or 5? Oh, I get it. So what's the quotient and remainder? The quotient is 2. So 7 times 2 is going to give us 14, and then the remainder is going to be 5. So that does make sense. Now it says B, negative 111. The way that I would do this is I would work through it in an Excel spreadsheet, and I would have, a quotient and then a remainder. So anyway, it's a little bit confusing, but hopefully it's less so confusing than what I had before. Let's just open up an Excel spreadsheet, right? Or I say Excel spreadsheet. I'm still, going back to Microsoft Excel. I'll do a new sheet, and let's call this chapter. No, let's Discrete 04, section 01, and all right. So we're going to call this problem. I'll shorten this up. 9. There we go. Okay, so I'll just punch this in right quick. So A, B, remainder. So we're going to have 7, 11, 23, 13, 19, 5, 3, 1. And so 7 was going into 19, negative 111, 789, 1001, 0, 3, negative 1, and 4. Okay, so when 4, so equals round, I think it's round down, and it's going to be this divided by this. Close that. I like that. See if we agree with all of this. So we'll do the mod, and then it'll be 19, comma. Yep, autofill looks good. Okay, so I'm not that smart, right? So I'm going to do, I have a no good name for this. I'm just going to say this is equal to times this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, well, okay, now this I can make sense of. When you take negative 10 times 11, you get negative 110. That's not right. This should be negative 11. The reason why I say that, negative 11 times 11 is going to be a negative 121, plus 10 gets that. That's the right number. Okay, I feel good about that. Okay, 34 times 23 is going to give us 782, plus another 7 gets us to that. I feel good about that. Any others of these negative? Nope, just that. Well, 2 funky ones. Okay, so 3, the quotient should actually be negative 1, and then the remainder is going to be 2, because negative 3 plus 2 gets you to negative 1. This one I feel good about. 19 divided by 0, the quotient is going to be 0 because it doesn't matter. Remainder should be 19. 0 times 0 plus 19. This one I feel confused about a little bit. So I'm gonna see if I can split my screen and get this to work. Sorry, friends. There we go. Not ideal. Oh no. So 2 and 5, that's a winner. Negative 11, 10, so that one makes sense. 34 and 7, agreed. 77, 0, good. 0 and 0, so I'm wrong on this. My instinct was wrong on that. And then we've got 0 and 3, so that's good. Negative 1 and 2, and 4 and 0. Yay! Okay, so 14 is very much of the same, and you could actually just punch that in and extend this table down. Hopefully that makes sense. While I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and hit share on this. I'm going to hit copy link. Oh, only people, no, we'll change it to anyone with a link can view it. So now I'll share, I'll copy the link, and then I'm going to come back here to, there we go, into the syllabus. Yeah, let's whoops. Well, I'm not having a great day on this. There we go. Copy this link, come into the syllabus, paste it right there. There you go. Okay, so now you can get to this spreadsheet and you can kind of see how to work this. Part B is going to be the same way. And then number 15, it says 80 hours after it reads 11 o'clock. Well, when we realize that a 12-hour clock, you can just start popping 12-hour chunks off of that. So 12, 24, 36, 48, blah, 72, right, is all divisible by 12 because 6 times 12 is 72. So you take that off, you're just basically adding 8 hours to it. And so we can open up this. That's actually going to be question 15. So yes, 11 p.m. plus 8 hours is going to be 7 a.m. So that makes sense. And then we say 40 hours before it reads 12. So you take 36 off of that, and it's the exact same thing. So that's 40 minus 36 is going to be 4. 12 minus 4 should be 8. Check my math on that. Here on number 15, part B is 8. So that's a winner. And then part C, 100 hours after it reads 6. Well, I don't know what it is, but I know 96 divided by 12 is some whole number. And so that's basically 4 hours after it reads 6. So that's going to be 10 o'clock at night. And basically the idea is we don't care how many times it goes around. It's still going to point to either, 12 or 1 or 11 or some stupid number like that. So I think it should be 10. And yay, it is. Okay. One more thing that I wanted to talk about real briefly. Had a few students that are like, hey, I just absolutely got flabbergasted on a homework assignment. I couldn't get anything done. Or I got super slammed that week and I wasn't able to get something done. Or now I've got such a mental block on it, I can't touch it at all. And I don't, what do I need to do? Do I need to go back and redo those previous chapters? No. Do you need to go back and do that previous homework? No. Here's what I mean by that. If your grade is hurting because you missed the points, like you don't do the work, you don't get the points. Another time, conversation for another time. You don't get points for anxiety. You don't get points for stress and suffering caused by your faculty. Like I said, it's a different story for a different time. But wouldn't it be great in life if we got points for suffering and just worry, if worry actually amounted to something? I think some of us would be millionaires. So instead, what I'm suggesting you do is I want you to have a flavor of every chapter, because every chapter is new information, a new way of viewing the world, and I want you to have something from that. And so if you're one of those students that you really actually do enjoy it and it's very easy for you to just dig into the mathematics and work through the problems, that's great. If you see earlier problems or later problems in that section that you missed that look like they'd be more fun for you to work, that's great too. And if the assignment's already closed, you can just email me and I can put in a grade for that, or you can email me and ask me to open up the window again for the assignment. I tried to do that on about everything that's due before February the 15th, is just keep extending that because I know people are having troubles getting books and stuff like that. One of the other ideas that I want to throw out there, if you're having a really hard time doing the pencil and paper work, and I know modular arithmetic and some of these things can get crazy like that, instead, just go to the back of the book and I'll go ahead and share my screen again so I can show you what it is that I'm talking about here. Here's the Rosen PDF, right? And here's the end of the chapter material. And there's key terms, there's results, there's review questions, and maybe those review questions are interesting. Supplemental exercises, maybe they're interesting. Maybe that's something that catches your fancy. Here's one that I have a lot of fun with. It's called computer projects. And I think you'll recognize some of these from our test questions. This is where I get the test questions from. All right, given a message and positive integers a and b. Okay, so here's the idea. Find one of these and work through one of these problems. Find the coefficients of x, right? And so you can write a program with these inputs and outputs. They're a little more challenging sometimes. This is the one. This is one that I think is a lot of fun. But the idea, you can find these computations and explorations. You can find these problems. There's writing projects at the end if that's more your speed. You can find things in every chapter that strike your fancy. And I tried to find the problems that I was like, you know what, these are approachable problems. Their answers have meaning. I think it's going to help us later on. But if I got it wrong, I'm okay with that. And just let me know, hey, this is more my speed, or it was actually, I wanted to do that. I didn't get that done, but writing a program now sounds like more fun. Or if you're like, I don't want to write more programs. I just want to do more paper and pencil work because that's what I need to help most with to get to where I want to be in my career. All of these are fine things. And I just wanted to get out there and let you know, I want to be flexible. I want to help you be successful. I want to give you options so that you have the opportunities to practice what you need. And I want to be supportive to your learning experience because this stuff is crazy hard. And unfortunately, people get too hung up sometimes on the difficulty and the challenge and the stress and the angst and the worry, and they don't get a chance to have fun. And here's one of the things that I want to talk about. You know, we got focused on here's how you find the answers, here's how you work through these problems, here's how we can address late work. And I completely blew past one of my favorite stories. And it's in that first section. And basically, the story goes like this: Gauss, as a 5-year-old, was a pain in the butt. And he was nagging his teacher in math class. And the math teacher was like, just shut up and add every number from 1 to 100. And Gauss, without missing a beat, said, it's 5,050. Just boom, that fast. And that's an annoying 5-year-old that was already being a pain. And then the teacher gave him just menial arithmetic addition. 5-year-olds typically at that time should have been doing things like, okay, this is how you write the number 1. No, Gauss is like adding hundreds of numbers at a time. That one he did straight in his head. And he's like, well, yeah, you simpleton, you take 100 plus 0, and then you have another pair, which is 99 plus 1, which is another 100. You've got 50 of those pairs. And so actually it's 51 of those pairs. So anyway, I forget how the math works out, and I'm not as quick as Gauss in my head. But Gauss was the one that recognized you could just do the pairs and you just have to count the number of pairs that you have. So anyway, that's, for me, that's fun. And I love the fact that Gauss was a pain in the butt, and that's how we figured out how to do that process. And I don't know, I just really get a chuckle out of that. And I feel like we spend so much time hung up on other things that we're worried about that cause us pain and suffering that we don't get a chance to really enjoy that. And for me, that's unfortunate. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if I can do anything to help you be successful, let me know. I am extremely proud of you. And I know that that doesn't take away from the fact that a lot of you are working really hard. I don't expect you to become mathematicians. I don't expect this to fill in all of the gaps you might have had in your education. I just want to show you and expose introduce you to a lot of different ways of seeing stuff. If you find yourself spending too much time on the homework, you can get to a certain point and be like, listen, I've invested a significant amount of time. I'm still not getting my head wrapped around it. It's okay to just write that on your homework and just move on. And I work with Rose, our grader, and Rose appreciates that and works with me on that. And if Rose lights you on fire for one, because Everett said it's okay, just make a note to Rose, and Rose is like, yeah, it's not okay because you just completely got this wrong. I'll admit that I'm wrong, and we can readjust. Maybe Rose can explain to you, do these 3 more steps. Like you did the first 290, you were 2 steps away from getting the right answer. Just do these 2 steps. We'll work with you. Nothing here is set up to cause you to fail. This isn't a weed out class or anything like that. So let me know what I can do to help you. Let me know what you're having questions on. Let me know if videos like this are beneficial. Provide me feedback on how I can help you have a successful experience in this class. So anyway, friends, I appreciate all your time. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will catch up to you later. Thanks and take care. Bye.